James, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, good afternoon. Let's go ahead and call this meeting of the IVDA to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes, of course. Please state your name for the record. Members from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro.
Members from the City of Colton. Thank you. Members from the City of Loma Linda.
Phil Duper.
Dusty Rigsby.
Member from the County of San Bernardino 2nd District.
Armadero present.
Member from the County of San Bernardino 5th District.
Baca present.
And members from the City of San Bernardino.
Helen Tran. Councilmember Sandra Ibarra.
Juan Figueroa.
Thank you. And for the record, Member Sherrod is also present in the audience.
Hey, at least they're working this time. Loud. Okay, were there any submitted requests for public comment?
Not for closed session, sir.
For closed session, okay? And we will now adjourn to closed session. All right. Okay. Welcome back. Mr. Lewin, can you provide us a report on closed session?
We do not have any reportable actions.
Okay, thank you very much. It's going to move us on to our regular session. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'll ask maybe Councilmember Echeverria if you would lead us.
Ladies and gentlemen, place your right hand on your heart, please. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Burrows, are there any items to be added or deleted?
No items, sir.
All right, we'll deal with conflicts of interest as they arise. Moving on to informational items. Mr. Burrows, 2A.
So I will be very brief with mine and ask Ms. Pritchett to fill you in on an exciting new event coming.
Thank you. As you may have seen from the signage coming into the airport today, the 38th Annual Redlands Bicycle Classic has kicked off in the City of Highland today. On our second year of sponsoring the event, we will be hosting the men's leg of the Onyx Summit Race, which will start here at the San Bernardino Airport tomorrow morning. Riders at about 7 a.m. will line up on Rialto Avenue, head west to Del Rosa, north to 3rd Street, east to Palm, south into Redlands, where they're going to meet up with the ladies at Hangar 24 and head up Onyx Summit. So you will see an increased amount of bicycle traffic around the airport as early as 7 a.m. tomorrow. We do anticipate they will be off-site by noon. I would be remiss not to thank virtually every department with the City of San Bernardino who helped us through the permitting process for this event. The Classic coordinators appreciate the effort. And we just ask that you share the road and be vigilant over the next few days. So that concludes my report, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
How many miles?
37 miles, I want to say, and they go up to 8,334 feet at the Onyx Summit. And they have 250 riders total.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And that concludes our reports. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So moving on to the consent calendar.
Move. Second.
Movement by Mayor Navarro, second by Mayor Tran.
We have a motion by Member Navarro and a second by Member Tran. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Echevarria?
Yes.
Member Duper?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Baca?
Baca aye.
Member Almendarez?
Almendarez aye.
Member Tran?
Yes.
Member Ibarra?
Yes.
And Member Figueroa.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to board action items. Number 8, Mr. Burrows.
So as promised, we have celebrities in our midst today for you. It's been a little while since we've gotten to do one of these, and I want to welcome Mr. Scott Morse with Hillwood to give us a update on Alliance California, our partnership with our good friends. So Scott, if you would.
Good evening, everybody. Scott Morse with Hillwood. Thank you for having me. Wanted to come and give you an update here. Mike asked me to run through some of the history of the partnership that we've had over the last 22 years. So I'll go through some of that. I'll go through projects that we've completed and then some upcoming projects, and then we have a special video that hopefully Mike can help me with there at the end. So see some familiar faces here, but the partnership started in 2002 as he pulls this up. The master developer, Hill was named master developer in November of 2022. Got this? Okay.
Sorry, but we're having technical difficulties with the PDF. We're going to upload the PDF onto the computer real quick for the slides. The video is on there, but we are uploading the PDF right now.
Great.
Do you know any jokes while we're waiting? Two pilots walked into a bar.
I could just run through it if you want me to.
If it's going to take a minute, should we consider handling item number 9? If that's okay, sir? Okay. Let's do that. Move on to item number 9. Mr. Lewin.
Okay, as the board would recall, we have a contract with Cal Interpreting and Translation to provide translation services for our board meeting. We've now gone 3 months, 3 meetings, I should say at least, without members of the public actually requesting the translation services or availing themselves of it. The cost for a meeting, including equipment rental and other things, is $2,278 per meeting. So we'd like to bring it to the board's discretion as to whether you would like to consider having translation services provided on an on-call or requested basis rather than an automatic each and every month. It would require a 72-hour notice. That is the 72-hour requirement that we would need either to request or to cancel with CTI without incurring the full cost of it, and to be respectful to our translators who have to travel here as well for that sort of thing. So if should you decide to want to go in that direction, the agenda would have a description and how to actually, for members of the public to request translation services for the meeting. It would also be on our website. We typically post our agendas, you may be aware, on the Thursday before the meeting, so it would be by Friday is when a member of the public would need to actually request the translation services, so we could then contract and have them here available.
Okay.
So
Supervisor?
I would like to say, I think it would be better for us to do it on a on-call basis. In our worst case scenario, if there is a member of the public who wishes to speak who doesn't get there in time, we can always table that item to the next meeting and make sure we have it available so that they don't ever lose their right to speak. I don't know if that sounds good or not.
That's a good point.
I think that's a reasonable expectation, and we're not spending $2,000 a meeting.
My question is, if there's people watching, if we're streaming online, for example, will there be translation offered online for them?
We haven't done that currently.
No, I do not believe there would be. I mean, if they're watching online, they're hearing whatever is being said here.
Okay.
Do we have a motion?
Can I make that a motion?
Supervisor, yes.
I'll second that.
A second by Mayor Navarro.
Yes, we have a motion by Member Almendarez and a second by Member Navarro. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Echevarria,
Yes.
Member Duper,
Yes.
Member Rigsby,
Yes.
Member Baca,
Baca, aye.
Member Almendarez,
Almendarez, aye.
Member Tran,
Yes.
Member Ibarra,
Yes.
Member Figueroa.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We're still not quite there. Maybe on to item number 10. And I think it actually might be a good wrap up with that video that we talked about. So let's do that. Yes.
All right. So can you pull up the economic development? Yes. We'll run through that real quick. Oh, there we go. All right. So this is on a general basis where we stand. Usually each year we do try to give you an update on where each initiative is on the economic development front. So got a brief overview of that. If you could go to the next slide. There we go. So there's a little thing called assessed value. Our base reuse project area is over 14,000 acres, 3-mile radius around what was Norton Air Force Base. For our bondholders and for our partners, we track the assessed value year over year. This goes out as part of our bond disclosure. We just completed that back here in March, and with the completion of your annual audit. And yet again, year over year, we are seeing almost double-digit growth in that entire assessed value. So yet another record, $11.4 billion in assessed value this past year. So the business and the investment that we are bringing to the region, and you all are a part of, thankfully is staying here, and they're paying their taxes. So that's nice. Next slide. So the 3rd and 5th Street corridor, we've talked a lot about this. This is in partnership with San Manuel and the City of Highland. Anybody that's driven this corridor, we're rounding the corner, ready to wrap this up, working with EDA on closeout of the project. The last piece of this is really completing the Southern California Edison installations and activating the traffic signals, syncing those up. But it's substantially complete at this point, and thankfully it makes the commute a lot easier for a lot of folks. Next slide. Our new Sterling project is under review, both in plan check with the City of San Bernardino Public Works and with EDA Seattle. And so we are hoping to be able to get this out for bid for construction this summer. So that's on track for that. And if we can get to the next one. One more. Oh. There we go. One more. All right, 3rd Street corridor. So this is our new Caltrans project, working with Caltrans District 8 local assistance on this. We are through the initial phases of the environmental review, and there again, this should trail the Sterling project construction-wise. They are also looking at our bid documents to make sure they conform with the latest Department of Transportation requirements. You all were kind enough to approve some Title VI regulations in there that are a necessary part of that packet. So design is complete. It's also in plan check with City of San Bernardino Public Works for bid. Next slide. And then our EV charging stations, been on this one for a little while here now. Those two are coming online. The domestic terminal is the most recent one, which is the one we were highly anticipating and get a lot of interest from our customers on. The next one to come later this year will be the facilities down at Mill Street at our office complex, down there at Mill and Tippecanoe. That one had to get some engineering changes that Edison had requested, so that'll come online later this year. But if you have folks with electric vehicles, ChargePoint is a service provider, and we do have options for you out here at the airport and the IVDA. Next slide. So San Manuel, this is the landing project. The last pieces of this in our partnership with San Manuel is the off-site improvements on the airport roads. And if you're driving down 3rd today, you saw a big crane out there, and they're finally getting that water tower spruced up. So again, thanks to the City of San Bernardino for approving that. that signage out there is going to be make that side of the airport look a lot better. Next slide. Alliance California, I'll defer to Alliance California, but again, our partners are alive and well, and we really appreciate their support. Next slide. The commuter rail project that we presented last year, I just want to put that back up on your radar. We continue to discuss this and what next steps might be appropriate to bring back to you with SBCTA. So we are kind of framing that in anticipation of presenting your new draft budget coming up and what resources might be needed to get it to the next stage of design, and also taking into the inputs that you've already provided to us. So we'll hopefully incorporate that in the new budget. Next slide. The infrastructure corridor technical studies for the EIR are literally being wrapped up right now. As you heard from Mr. Dodson, the goal is to have the draft EIR in a state to publish the end of this month. So in your May meeting, we will be planning on presenting an outreach schedule and additional timelines for you to consider on that. So they're hard at work right now. Miriam and I are starting to see draft chapters come in as we speak. So, and then next slide. We've got a few on here on the UAS Center. This is always an ever-evolving business for us. New partners coming on board on the training sector, obviously a lot in the workforce space, particularly with San Bernardino County Schools. Obviously you saw another contract on there for this summer. They've been very pleased and continue to bring business our way. Next slide. When we're talking about the advisory services from a policy standpoint, this is a continued service that not many regions have. Obviously, San Bernardino County helped put us on the map in establishing their county-wide SOP, and now we've got other regions in San Gabriel and then even SCAG with their Advanced Air Mobility Working Group that we've been a part of to look at other opportunities to share those resources. Next slide. And then finally, we've got broader outreach with the center as a whole. So we are actually going to be presenting in the global drone conference down in San Diego at the end of the month. And we have a new partnership coming up here with a delegation from Taiwan to again expand our expertise, share resources, and make sure we're at the cutting edge of the technology and the services we should be providing. So good work there, and again, objects in motion. So that concludes the report, and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, all right. Seeing no questions, let's actually move on to number 11 too. I kind of think even if we're able to get that, I think it would be a nice wrap up anyway. So let's finish up our regular calendar and then go to that.
There we go. You got an economic development update, and guess what? We're working on your budget. That's the report. There you go.
All right, thank you very much. All right, sir.
Sorry, Scott. That's all right. Okay. So as I was saying, next slide, please. Go through the history here. Norton Air Force Base closure was identified in 1988. Then the master developer was selected in November of 2002. So we've been a partner of the IVDA and the city for many, many years, over 2 decades, and continue to grow within the city and make investments in the city. Next slide, please. So here's a snapshot of Norton Air Force Base before the redevelopment. 1940s asbestos type buildings, as Mike I'm sure remembers. And the goal was really to bring back jobs to the community, redevelop the area, and bring investment into the community. Next slide, please. Here's the current master plan. Everything within the blue box is what we consider on airport. That was really the original Norton Air Force Base. And as we went through the years, we have continued to develop in the city of San Bernardino. And so over that time, we've developed about 16.2 million square feet. And you see some of the tenants that we have there. Next slide, please. We had 3 goals in 2002. The first was to change the landscape, increase the tax base, and bring jobs back from the Norton Air Force Base. Next slide. Demolition of the 4.2 million of 1940s buildings, and then we have, as I mentioned, redeveloped modern logistics facilities in 16.2 million square feet. Next slide. Here are some of the names of the tenants that we've put into these facilities. Increased the tax base, about $1.2 billion of increased tax. As most notably, the last was the air cargo facility here on the SBAA. So, next slide. Bring back jobs. We are totaling about 13,000, not including the construction jobs. So including, we estimate about 15,000 jobs that we brought back to the community over the last 20 years. And here is our investment, about $1.4 billion in private investment. And that includes both logistics facilities, but also infrastructure within the city. About $106 million of infrastructure, sewer, water, storm drain, those types of things. Next slide. Here's the economic impact. This is both direct and indirect for the area, the region, $3.6 billion in total, $26 million in fees to the city, and 9.7 for schools as well. Here's Air Cargo Facility. I know you guys are all familiar with this. This is completed in December of 2020. This is the last project that we completed as part of the IVDA partnership. And hearing it's going very well. Current projects and upcoming projects. So on the bottom left here is what we call Gateway South 7, 8, and 9. Those are 3 buildings that are currently either under construction or entitled, ready to develop. And then Northgate 2 through 6 is the last 30 acres that we purchased from the IVDA in 2022. And we plan to develop hopefully next year, pending economic uncertainty that we currently have, but we're currently going through construction drawings on those buildings as well. So we'll be ready to develop as soon as the economy comes back. Here are the site plans for Gateway South 7, 8, and 9, about 1 million square feet. 7 is complete, 8 is under construction, and 9 is planned to be under construction. Here are pictures of Gateway South 7, finished the building last fall, waiting for a tenant. Hopefully we'll be getting a tenant here shortly. Gateway 8 is under construction. Hopefully we will finish this building in the next 30 days. And here's Northgate. As you can see, 4 buildings that we plan to develop hopefully next year. And we'll monitor that, and we'll be ready if the economy comes back. And in closing, we do have a video of the partnership with the IVDA. The purpose of the video was originally to play at our 20th anniversary event, which has not occurred due to the passing of Mr. Magnus. And so we wanted to, in his honor, play this video here tonight, given the impact that he had on all the numbers that you just saw. So enjoy.
20 years, Hillwood has taken an area with underutilized and uncoordinated land use and changed it into a productive job creation engine for the San Bernardino community. The decrease in traffic is associated to more efficient land use in Alliance, California, and the improvements to roadways and infrastructure. Traffic noise levels generated in Alliance, California have reduced as well over from original projections, even with the development of more traffic-intensive uses in the area. The levels have decreased by approximately 1 decibel during evening peak hours. Off-site noise levels generated by Alliance, California have substantially decreased over time due to the efficiency of the developments. The developments have brought systematic change to warehousing in the area and have contributed to almost 2% of the economic output in San Bernardino County, the largest county by square miles in the United States. Alliance, California has generated $26.6 million in fee revenue for the city, plus $9.7 million in direct payments to city schools, in addition to ordinary taxes. The Alliance, California economic multiplier effect in private investment is $3.7 billion for the county of San Bernardino. Alliance, California accounts for 2.21% of the county of San Bernardino's total employment, increasing from 0.1% in 2004.
So thank you for your partnership, and I'm here to answer any questions. Thank you on behalf of this board and many boards before us and this entire community. Thank you very much for the partnership as well. Madam Clerk, were there any requests to speak on any open session?
No, not at this time.
Thank you very much. Any comments from board members? It is cold. Yes. All right, seeing none, and we are in adjournment. Thank you very much. We'll see you next month.